Welcome back to the Thor-io WebRTC streaming thing I'm doing. I just recently recorded a thing that shows you how to set up a connection to the broker or signaling server and add a local stream, and as well as adding the remote participants. It was quite rough, and I want to refine or refactor the whole thing now and start moving on into making a more working application. So I also checked in the code at GitHub, so you can get the results from each one of those streams I'm making. So now we'll start by actually making sure that the local video is kind of separated from the remote streams in a more proper way. Just using CSS in this case, and I'm using local stream here, local videos, and I will actually put that one in the lower right corner, make the position of the element to absolute, put it to the bottom of the page, set it to 10 pixels, and also put it 10 pixels on the right to make it a little bit better. And we can also put an index on it so we can prepare for layers. So that one on there. And this is actually the remote video container. So let's say that each one of those elements we're adding to the remote videos. Those are videos. Those will be floating to the left and have a margin of let's say 10 pixels. I'm not the designer, so I hope it's okay. You can also put a small title here that says my conf app thing. So I already started up the local server. I'm using Python here and hosting on localhost port 8090, as you see. Okay, so I'm doing it. I'm using Python and like this, and now let's create a new window. Let's create a new window like this and do a request for the local host on port 8090 then. As you see now, after doing a refresh, sorry, I was messing around a little bit. Now the video is in the lower right corner as expected. We also have a my conf app thing title in the page. Let's see now if it works with multiple participants. We need to copy the URL, and as you may remember, we set the room name to foobar on each of one of those clients. It's kind of slow. I don't know why it's causing these problems. Is there something wrong? It's working. So let's do a refresh. Copy the URL. This works. Yeah, but not this one. Still waiting for the local host to answer. That's so strange. It should actually work quite fast. Let me just kill the web. Something broken with the Python thing. Maybe we have multiple. Yes, I need to do a webpack running here. And now we allow it. Yeah. As you see now, sorry, I will take it from the beginning again. We'll start a new window. and then we open yet another one. It should be in incognito mode. Why it's causing me problems? Something with the Python. Maybe I can change the port to 8100 then. It may be something with the streaming. Yeah. And this one connected. Now it works. Sorry. So now we actually have the local client down to the right, and up here we have the remote pairs connected. But if we now kill the remote participant, the right client, you will see that this video freezes, and it will not go away from the screen. It will just stop receiving data on the video. So what we need to do now is to go back to the code and look here in the WebRTC client, and here's an event called onContext disconnected and onContext connected. This will pass us a context or a pair, to be frank, on both of them. So now let's see what this says. Sorry, I'm having bumpy fingers. Console log connected and a pair, and then we can copy this one and say this connected and pair. I build, and let's see if Webpack is running. Yes. And now it's still building. Yeah, now it's done. So let's go back to Chrome and make a refresh. I'm gonna open up the console, and this is as last time. It says connected to broker. I'm at the context, which is a random one. We got a media stream from the camera, and also changed the room to foobar. That we saw the last time as well. I'm pulling this down here instead. I'm copying the URL and allowing the camera to be accessed. And as you see now in the console, we have yet another message displayed. It says connected, WebRTC connection, and it's an ID. That's the remote, the ID of the remote pair. In this case, this window up to the left. And if we now disconnects this one or closes this window, it will take us a small, maybe a second or two, maybe 3 seconds. It depends on the state of the connection. And as you see now down to the left in the debugger window or the console of Chrome, it says disconnected. This way we can actually know how to when a client connects or disconnects to the room of ours, in this case the foobar room. So let's deal with this then. And we also have one thing where we need to consider. As we're using the same method for adding the local and remote video, we can actually put a new method here, or sorry, this doesn't need to be done, because when we get a remote track, the kind of the video track or track, if the track is of the kind video, we need to add a video. Sorry, video. We add the video, but as we are only receiving one now, we won't get an error. But as soon as we put true on this one, each client or remote pair will fire 2 events or one event for each track bound to the media stream, the audio track and the video track. And we can't add them together because that's a stupid way of doing it. So we need to start to work with this. So let's first make a list of pairs. Let's call this, you have a pair or users, let's call it, or pairs is the best, pairs, and that's a map. It's a string which is the ID, and let's say we have any kind of object as the value part of the map, and we create a new this pairs equals new map and string and any, and for each one of those pairs we are receiving, we can say on the case that we have a pair connection connected to pair, we say this.map pairs set, and we can actually take the pair dot, as you see here we have ID, we're using that as the identifier or key to the list, dot ID, and what we are pulling in this one is the actual just a new object, an empty object. That's a good idea, because this will be or an array of tracks, but we'll start like this, and when we got it we can say this, or when pairs disconnected, this dot pairs dot delete, and we're removing pair dot ID. In this case, where we can actually deal with the pair connections as a list. But in this case, we also only have an ID, an empty object. So let's create object that looks like this: video equals nothing, and audio is nothing. That's the default. Come on, yes. And as soon as we got the remote track, we can actually locate the pair and say that if this is a video, add the video to the DOM using this add video method, but also set this. I have to get the let pair equals this dot pairs dot get, and the connection dot ID, and as we're using pair as the object, to say pair instead here, and pair dot ID, which is much more convenient. And this is pair was not a good name, so let's go and let's call it P for instance. You get the point here what I'm trying to do, and we can also set P dot video equals, because now we have an object here. P has a property that we created up here, equals track, and otherwise it should be a track of the kind audio, and this P dot audio equals track. But now we are not doing an audio playback, so we can create this dot add audio and track. We are not pulling any audio out now, so I will actually illustrate it. We can actually do like this and add audio, and it's track. No media stream, sorry. We'll do nothing now, just make a method. And go back to we send the media stream here, like that. So, but there's no way that we can identify the videos, so we need to add yet another property to the video element. Let's call it, we give it an ID or pair ID as a string, and we can use let's say we use a class list and add. Let's call it pair. We need to concatenate some strings here. Let's say like this, and pair ID and dash, and then we take the value of our argument pair ID. So we can actually trace that one particular string and make sure that we can clean it up when it disconnects. So like this document query selector, because these are unique. That should be the selector, and it's pair .id and remove. This thing I was trying to show here with the participants, that's a way to keep track of them in a more like proper way. So we can actually comment this away, and we can comment this away for a while. Come back to that in a later. That should be pair. Just in the console, that we can comment away. And this expects now yet another argument, which is the pair ID. This pair ID is the identifier of the unique element, the unique video element, which will be created up here in the add video using the class. And when we lose a connection to a pair, this event will be fired, and we are actually querying the DOM for that particular class we had. And lucky me that I found it. It should actually work. So now rebuilding the solution. And I'll go back to the Chrome application. We have a problem here, of course. There's no proper source object, and that's the local video here. We need to send the ID of the local one, and we can actually just create a local stream. That way, I'm using the same method for the local stream as well as the remote streams, so that's why it's failed. Still building. So this one should actually work now then. Yes, the same guy in the red hat. As you see, we just have the connection to the broker and the rooms, etc. And the room name is now foobar. So let's copy this one, open new window in incognito mode, and allow the camera to be accessed. And we now have a remote video, and let us inspect that element. it should now have a class name, as you see here, pair ID, and on the other window it of course has a pair ID which corresponds to the remote client or whatever it can be. So now we close this one, and hopefully the event name on disconnected will be fired. If we are lucky, it will work. So let's close this one then, and as you see, we will have a connected event and now disconnected, and now you see we lost the remote video. So if we now open the window again and come back to the same room, which is the foobar room, and we disconnect this one to the left, this one freezes, and it takes a few seconds for it to understand that we actually lost this pair. Yes, and that worked as expected. I will go to a new window and see if it works, and I come back. We'll click this one away, and this one will freeze and remove in just a blink. No, yes, fantastic. So, how about this thing with room names? That's the next step we need to look at to actually fulfill the basics. One way of doing it is to have a text field in your application that the user can fill out and click a connect button. But an easy way to do it is to use the location of the browser in href location hash as the identifier for rooms. As you remember, foobar was our room. Now it was like a kind of a constant. So now we're building this, and we can open up the console. Meanwhile, it's still building as you see. We go back, and you see that disconnected because it's now we have a room which is blank, which is quite stupid, but the room name can be foobar1, and we make a reload, and now the room name is set to foobar1. We can copy this URL and open a new window, but in this case I will actually add foobar2 here in the hash and connect, and nothing happens as you see, because this client to the right is now connected to the room named foobar2, and this one is foobar1. But by just changing the hash code here now to 2 and make a reload, it would actually work. So if we have one new participant here now in the new incognito window, and we make it smaller, you will actually see that just by pasting this URL with the hash link, you will have a new client which now also can disconnect, and it freezes on both sides here, and it will go away, yes, right there. And just illustrate it by opening the window again, but instead I will say foobar22, which is the new room, which is now unique, and none of those pairs are connected to this room. But to make it even clearer, I will go back to that room and make a refresh, and you will see I'm connected because the hash value are the same on all three windows. And now let's collapse this one and this one, and now we should lose spell streams in a while. So by just adding a few lines of code, we actually can see that the streams are easily removed from the document. We added a room kind of management or room thingy by using the hash. We prepared the thing for adding the audio nodes to the document, the audio tracks for each remote participant, and we also created some kind of extra list of the participants that we will have in our application further on when we want to make a list of participants, management of participants, chat messages, which are instant or direct users. So I hope you enjoyed this small session. It's episode 2 of the recording. I will try to make yet another episode, or at least 2 episodes a day, for the next coming week. It's Corona times, and I have some spare times during the evenings, as the workload is not that massive.